So we are live. Good evening. Good evening. Sorry for the lateness. Lateness is greatness. And StreamYard was bugging out. It wouldn't let us go live, would it, lads? So we're here in the end. And Jez, you look a lot better than last week, mate. How are you?
Mate, I'm 100%. You know, I swear to God, last week when I watched back the podcast and other stuff, and I watched another stream that I did with somebody else, I honestly looked dead. I was white, my eyes were red. I thought, oh man, you do look ill. and no, I wasn't,
mate. You did. You look like death warmed up last week.
No, I'm fine now. Absolutely fine.
No, well, that's good. You look a lot better. You sound a lot more lively than last week. What are you sipping on tonight, Jez?
A little bit of red wine, Lee.
Oh, well, I'm on the Coca-Cola. I wanted to ask you very quickly before I come to Kenny, right? Because you know quite a bit about wine. What's the stuff in the bottom? Yeah, so when you're making wine, I take it it's like a filter at the bottom, and all the gunk and stuff goes to the bottom, right? Because some people drink that, don't they?
I wouldn't recommend it. Really upset your stomach.
What's the name of that thing that is it a filter? Is that all it is? Just a filter? Yeah. It's like that deep, roughly, and then just all the crap goes in the bottom, yeah?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day and I couldn't remember. So I thought, now, who could I ask about wine? And I thought of you, mate. So there we go. But Kenny, how are you, mate?
Well, you know, first and foremost, I was really happy that me and my wife got tickets for the Tyson Fury Dillian White fight, although I managed to F it up at first because I got the tickets, back to pay, but I realised that I got the address wrong, so it timed me out, so I had to start again. The lot my wife gave me, and so in the end, we got the tickets, but you know, I think we had to pay a bit more than I. So I'm definitely in the doghouse anyway. So, but also, you know, just want to say, like, sad day for sport. You know, Rodney Marsh, cricket fan, you know, lost his life. You know, had cardiac arrest last week. You know, didn't survive from his coma, and then the shocking news about Shane Warne. Even if you don't know nothing about cricket, I think every sports fan would have heard of Shane Warne. When my brother sent me the message, I thought it was a hoax because it was straight after hearing about Rodney Marsh losing his life. So
Shane Warne actually tweeted about 8 to 12 hours earlier about Rodney Marsh, and then
definitely,
and that comes out. It's bad.
So I just want to say, like, rest in peace, Bacchus. Rest in peace, Warney, mate. Both icons of one of the games that I love watching. And I used to watch, you know, Bacchus wicket keeping with Dennis Lilly when I was a kid, and Shane Warne, obviously, when I'm in my 20s. I suppose we both grew up together, not in terms of, like, we had our 20s together. So for him someone close to my age to lose their life like that, sad news, shocking. And, you know, condolences to both sets of kids, Rodney Marsh's kids and Shane Warne's kids.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. And listen, life's too short to listen to idiots chatting rubbish in live stream chat. So do what makes you happy, people, because you never know when your time's up.
Oh, absolutely.
Big up to everyone watching, man. Make sure you are smacking the likes up on this video. And yeah, I am off the beer today. I'm on the Coca-Cola, and I haven't got any straws because I didn't buy any. I forgot. So I'll probably end up with acid reflux by the end.
Straw. The amount of people who said who've promised that you'll be you know, drinking and eating for a straw, man, and you're still here. Too much chatter.
That's funny. That's proper funny. But yeah, normally when I drink Coca-Cola, I end up getting acid reflux unless I drink it through a straw. Don't know why, but all the time. So yeah, I'll probably end up having it by the end of this show, but there we go. But big up to everyone watching, man. Over 200 in here real quick as well. So keep peppering the likes up. We have got a game tomorrow. Seems like an eternity since I actually watched the game because I didn't do the last game. Yeah, so the last game I actually watched of us was Brentford, which was, I can't even remember. Right, it was last month.
We could go Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
9 days.
No, that was the Wolves game.
10 days.
Yeah, so yeah, the game before that was a week. So I ain't watched an Arsenal game for nearly 3 weeks. That's actually mad. Yeah, it's mad. But we do have a game tomorrow against Watford. They're absolutely rock bottom of the table, I believe. I think they're bottom, isn't they? Or is it Norwich? Let's have a quick look. I think they're bottom.
No,
Norwich. It's Norwich. And then Watford 19 points, Norwich 17. They're pretty doomed, Watford, if I'm honest. They've played more games than Everton, who sit fourth from bottom. They've played one game less than Leeds, but they're like 4 points behind. They are not staying up, Watford. But they did get a draw against Manchester United the other day. Do we have any chance of cocking this up, Jez? We're in good form at the minute. We've won 3 straight games. They're not in good form at all. I can't remember the last time they strung back-to-back wins. They had a win 3 games ago, but I can't remember the last time they've strung back-to-back wins or back-to-back results, if anything. But do you see a routine victory, or is there going to be a possible upset?
Well, let's put it in context. With Arteta, we never know what we're going to get, do we? You know, it's a jamboree bag. You know, remember that as a kid? You used to put there and pick something out. And with Arteta, yeah, in all honesty, being serious, we should go there. And I've said the other day, I'm going 3-0 Arsenal because they offer nothing. But that all depends on who he picks. If he picks Lacazette again up front, or dare I say it, Entekia, then, you know, it says it all. Personally, for me, tomorrow, I would start Martinelli, Pepe up front, and give it some, go for it, be the Arsenal that we should be, and go and kick their asses. But that all depends on Arteta, because we know that he flip-flops and he probably won't play Pepe. And the reason is he scored in the last game, so he's probably going to bench him.
It's true. Every time he does well, he gets benched. And what about you, Kenny? You going to the game, Kenny? I take it you're going,
yeah. I've definitely got a ticket. So you know who I'm going to go with. It's like a meet up at Euston Station. You know, he wants us at. We're all wanted at Watford by about 10 o'clock. I said, "You going to have any breakfast?" He went, "No. What do I need breakfast for?" I said, "Well, surely you're going to need some food and all the drink you're going to get down." He went,
liquid lunch, mate. That's it.
Yeah, he said it's going to be a liquid breakfast. But you know one thing about Watford, obviously, me and Watford have a very good, nice relationship. After the way I got schooled and got basically trolled after one game with them. But the thing with Watford is that they've got Croydon Roy as manager. They are going through like a very inconsistent time, and you know they change managers like they basically changing suits. But the thing about Watford is that there's times when we've gone there and battered them, but they've beaten us. There's times when they've beaten us, and sometimes they've got results against us at the Emirates. But because we're in a decent amount of form, we should win it. But my only concern is, as Jess pointed out, is our attack as well. You know, how long are we going to just play with Lacazette? You know, not putting those sort of chances away. You know, how long are we going to sort of keep Pepe, under wrapped on the cotton wool or unused? You know, not get him out of the package. And I think that's one of the biggest concerns I have. Another thing as well is that Watford are going to give us a game and a half. They're going to be at us. You know, they've got that. It's a compact ground. They're going to put the foot in. So Partey and Xhaka need to be on the, at the best. Partey, I know I could trust to actually have some discipline and try and let me feel. But Xhaka, there's going to be players that are going to try and wind you up. Sissoko, he's going to actually wind you up. Good thing is Ismail Sarr's not playing. Ismail Sarr, so that means a bit their pace is playing. But they still got players like Dennis. You know, they still got King. They still got Cleverley. Players who are not, what I call house-ad names, but because it's Arsenal, they're going to raise their game. And I think that's what we're going to have to put up with quite a lot of our games. Because, everyone's talking about Tottenham. They're talking about Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. But I think we're still going to have a lot of competitive games where teams are, especially away from home, where teams are going to be at us. And we're going to have to play out their skins. And I think Watford is going to be one of those games because you just don't know what Watford's going to turn up. Hopefully it's the Watford that's been, that we can turn over 4 or 5-0, but I don't think it's going to happen. If Arteta gets it wrong, his selection wrong, then it could be a long, long time. We might nick it, but I'm not expecting a walkover.
Well, don't forget, though, Kenny, if Xhaka plays, we'll be scared.
Yeah, because he'll get he'll either do a silly back pass. He'll probably let his man run past him with pace, or he might, concede a silly free kick or get himself sent off, because it's that kind of game where, he is a marked man. Players like Sissoko, who's ex-Tottenham, are going to try and wind him up. You know what I mean? That without a shadow of doubt.
Roy Hodgson will be telling him to wind him up.
Yeah.
They'll say he's been around forever, mate. He's a wily old fox, Roy Hodgson. He'll be telling him that guy is a liability. Get into him.
That's my only concern. But if we can win the midfield battle, we can get Odegaard to like I said, get in the game and say, look, mate, do it for play. Don't play cameos during matches and be a scene stealer. Try and dominate possession, because if he gets on the ball and he picks the pass out, we put our chances away. We should win comfortably, but ain't the Arsenal way. Watford are going to give us a game, and God forbid if they score the first goal, because it'd be a hard game for us if they score first. But I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
I agree totally with both of you. I said 3-0 the other day, and I'm going to stick 3-0. But I would not be surprised one bit if we end up losing this football match. It's just how we are. We're in good form at the moment. We're playing well. We're bagging a few goals now. The team look pretty solid at the moment. Yeah, and then we go to Watford, and then bang. Yeah, it's happened so many times over the years. And at Watford as well. Not just at Arsenal in general. Arsenal at Watford. And like I just said, we were 2-0 up in that game. And the Granit Xhaka said we were scared. It's like we were 2-0 up. How are you scared, mate? Right? What a weird thing to say. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like, they rode their luck massively against Man United. I mean, Man United should have won that about 7-0. Yeah, and they literally parked the bus and got away with it and nearly nicked it with a long range effort. But yeah, I think if we don't get 3 points tomorrow, then that's not good enough. Yeah, it's not good enough. If we've got hope as a football club to get top 4, you have to be turning up at Watford and slapping them about a little bit. Yeah, and I do see it happening. If I'm honest, I think we'll win comfortably. If we don't get an early goal, then it might get a little bit dodgy for us. The longer the game goes 0-0, then they'll fancy their chance. They'll probably be happy with a draw, if we're honest.
That's going to play into their hands, though, Lee, because into our hands anyway. Because the two teams that we've played at the Emirates, Brentford first and Wolves inexplicably decided that 1-0 was enough, and that only allowed us to get more and more possession. But it took for Pepe to actually unlock that door, because Brentford, they just ran out of gas, and we managed to sort of steamroll them. But scoring early through Smith Rowe did help in the second half, helped us. But again, I still look at Pepe and I think Saka has got a lot in his locker coming, in the next few years. But the person who can, at the moment, can unlock tight defences with a bit of creative, bit of individual skill, and be able to create an opportunity for themselves is Pepe, and he's better at doing that than Saka. That's not a slag off Saka. It's just that sometimes we struggle in games that we eventually win because we're too predictable. Everyone knows Odegaard's going to make where he's going to run. They know he's going to make that pass. They cut it out. They know Lacazette's going to play with his back to goal, and that he's going to try and feed Pepe and Martinelli. So I just think, right, we just stay comfortable. And I think
I'm glad you brought up Saka, because we're going to come to him as well, because there's a lot of rumours saying that he's stalling on a contract, this, that, and the other. I mean, when you read some of these articles, it actually says that there's no offer on the table at the moment, and that they're going to wait until the end of the season, right? Which is cool, and he's still got 2 years left anyway. But Jez, do you think, right? Because one of the articles I read said that he wanted to see the ambition of the football club, right? And he was going to be offered, he wants to be offered a decent fee, a decent size wage, and see the ambition of the football club, right? If that is the case, then he's going to be leaving then, isn't he? Yeah, because we've seen so many players better than Saka, with all due respect, leave this football club because of lack of ambition. So the star boy of Project Youth, if this is true, yeah, we don't know the ins and outs, of course. But if it is true, then the star boy, the poster boy of Project Youth, is stalling and might want to leave. And he's going down to the last 2 years. Well, we've seen that with Lacazette. We've seen that with Eddie. We've seen that with loads of other players over the years. We know where this is going, really, don't we?
It's the same old, same old. And I'm just going to throw in the mix here. I saw a comment today about Martinelli. He wants to spend the rest of his career at Arsenal, and Arsenal will be the best club in the world. Now, that's a quote from Martinelli. So I'll put that down to impetuous youth, because whether he was having a really good day or he'd been out on the piss, I don't know. But I think that's a bit of a far-fetched comment. Regarding Saka, I don't know. We don't know. None of us know what goes on behind the scenes at Arsenal, whether he's going to get another contract. I'm sure they will offer him a contract. I'm sure they will. But if he has ambition, and in the summer, Real Madrid, Man City, Liverpool, Bayern Munich come in and start saying, look, mate, we really rate you. We're going to do this. This is what we're going to achieve. We're in Champions League, and we are fighting for the top prizes. That can turn a player's head.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, their ears are listening to other things around them. And his agent, who of course wants to make a few mil out of it, will say, well, look, Saka, you know, if Bayern Munich come knocking on the door like it did, you know, I think it'd be a good move for you. You're a young player. They've got ambition. They're always in the Champions League. Arsenal, you know, I'll say this on point. If Arsenal don't get Champions League this year, which personally I think is bloody pointless because we ain't going to win it, but let's for the sake of our players' mentality, we need to keep them, because if we don't get it, then there's going to be young players that are thinking, oh, Christ, you know, another year out Champions League. So they're going to be looking. They're going to be, people are going to be talking to them. They're young. Yeah. And they're going to be persuaded by big money, big clubs, their agents. So, you know, I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't believe in all this bullshit. Oh, I love Arsenal and, you know, I'm going to be here for the rest of my career. And, you know, Arsenal are going to be the best team in the world. Bollocks. Piss off. Sorry. You know, if Real Madrid, PSG, Juventus, Bayern Munich came in and said, right, we'll give you 100 grand a week. And you've got Champions League and all the add-ons, all this, all that. Of course the kid's going to listen to it.
And that's the thing, right? Project Youth.
I would. I'd be thinking, well, I'm on what? 50 grand a week now. I'm going to get 100 grand a week.
Yeah, I could go Man City and double me money and win trophies. Or I could stay at Arsenal and after money and win nothing.
You know, come on, let's get real about it. You know, Arsenal are in a shit position. I've been saying it. We've all been saying it. The three of us have been saying it. Where can we go at this point in time to attract? And there was a great comment on Gracie's show, right, by some fella. When we had Arsene Wenger in his early days, players wanted to come, especially French players, wanted to come and play for Arsenal because they wanted to play for Wenger. We had Vieira, Pires, you know, Henry, you know, great bastions of the club. But can you honestly say with Arteta, can you honestly say in all your dreams and on hand on heart, who the fucking Europe top class is going to say, oh yeah, I want to go play for Arteta?
Exactly. When they could go and play for Ancelotti, Pep, Pop, Nigelsmann, Allegri, potentially Poch, as well at PSG, or maybe at Man U by then. Yeah, or Conte.
Simeone.
No, what? Simeone, exactly, another one. You know, you can go and play with Xavi at Barcelona. Where's Arteta on this pecking order? Yeah, it's mad. And the funny thing is when people sit there and you know, you see all these players come out. Ben White done it. Tommy Asu done it. Some of the other players have done. Oh, it was Arteta's phone conversation that really convinced me about the project at this football club. But when a player turns out to be crap and leaves, oh, that was Edu's fault. That's Edu. Yeah, so make your minds up. Is it Edu signing the players or is it Arteta signing the players? Because it seems that when it's a good player, or somebody that's doing well, and they're sucking off the manager, oh, that's the reason he's got pulling power. But when it all goes sideways, oh, well, that's on Edu. You can't have it both ways, people. And at the end of the day, we say it all the time, all three of us. The aim of elite sport is to win. So if a player wants to leave, he's leaving because he wants to win. You know, so when people sit there and say, "Oh, Van Persie's a snake and this person's a snake," and well, yeah, they might be to you, but the fact is, they want to win. And every single player, pretty much, that has left our club has won something. I think every single one of them has, pretty much, literally. You know, all the better ones did anyway. Even Alexis won something at Inter, won the league last year. Yeah. You know what I mean? And everyone was saying he was washed up when we got rid. Yeah, well, he ain't that washed up because he won a title last season, and it's like. You know, I just look at it and I think football fans are a weird bunch. Like not just Arsenal, but football fans in general are just a weird bunch, man. Yeah, and maybe it's because I'm getting old and miserable. Because I used to be the same. Oh, he's a snake. But then when you look at Fabregas, I don't dislike Fabregas. I thought like the way he went about leaving the club was a disgrace. Yeah, but he wanted to go for the right reasons because he wanted to win. Yeah, he went about it the wrong way. That's why I was so harsh on him. But Van Persie, the fact he went to Man United upset me a little bit. But again, we're the best team in the league. So I wouldn't go there. You know, he'd been at Arsenal for what, 8 years, 9 years or something. He'd been injured for most of it, and that's why our fans got the ump. And then he went to Man U. Yeah, but if Bukayo Saka leaves, let's say he signs a new contract, right? That protects the football club as well, because that is properly protecting the value of a player, not this Rob Holding crap. Yeah, because he ain't worth nothing. Saka is worth a lot of money, and the fact that he's come through our academy means it's all profit pretty much. So if we've got 2 years left on his contract and we sell him this summer, he's going for what, 60 mil, 50 mil, 55. If he's on a 5-year deal, we could get in excess of 80 mil for that kid. So that extra little contract that we're going to give him protects the football club and gives us an extra 20 mil. But if he does leave, whether he's under a new contract or the current contract, I don't think he'll go abroad, which means he's then going to Man United, Man City, Chelsea, or Liverpool. And if I was to put a bet on it, it's Man City.
Yeah.
Because somebody put in the chat a minute ago, Riyad Mahrez is 31. He ain't getting any younger. As much as he's a sick footballer, yeah, he ain't getting any younger. And they'll be sniffing all over Bukayo Saka in the summer, I reckon. Liverpool probably don't need him at the moment, although Salah is knocking on a bit, but I think he's the same age. But Salah's output's just ridiculous still. So he's still got 3-4 years maybe. But Mahrez, I think Pep will want to refresh that position maybe in the summer. Yeah, or give Mahrez a little bit of competition. But what do you think on this Saka contract, Kenny?
Well, the thing about the Saka thing is always going to, like I said, be like on the agenda, and it be on the fans' interests, because simple reasons that Saka has played big time football for his country. He's played in one of the biggest games in world football, which is the European Championship final, and he featured in that, and he was brought on by Southgate to try and get England over the line. So he's used to playing with big boy football, or like I said, in the big time. Plus, his teammates for the national side are players who've played in Champions League finals or won the thing. Trent Alexander-Arnold, well, he didn't make the squad, but Mason Mount's got a Champions League medal. He's his teammate. Jordan Henderson, another squad member, has got a Champions League medal. So that in that sort of stratosphere, I only named two players, but there's more players in that squad who have won things. Cole Walker, the proper Cole Walker, not the YouTube geezer, although they're both called Cole Walker. But Cole Walker's won a lot since he's left Tottenham going Man City. So, your eyes will be turned. And I think Arsenal, in terms of like Saka, Arsenal are going to have to secure him on a long contract, and protect themselves, because clubs will be looking at Saka, and Saka will be, at the moment, he's going to look at himself and think, right, do I want to be that young kid who just wants to enjoy his football and misses out on opportunities, or just take this opportunity where I can develop and start winning things? Because you've got to realise, right, your career's short. You can either, get yourself in a situation where you get cancelled, or you can get a serious injury where you'll never play again. So when players are making a name themselves at Arsenal, and they go away with their countries to play with in big tournaments and get that far and play with big players, they are going to realise they're going to have to be careful in their career. And that's why I always say to Arsenal fans, be careful what you're saying when you talk about trust the process and youth project, and it's going to take time. Yourself and Jez are no different to the players who aren't buying this process, want it now, because we're fans and we don't have an effect on the football club. But players like Saka, maybe Smith Rowe, if he gets in the World Cup squad and England do well again, they'd be thinking, well, hang on here, I'm now an established international for my country. I should be playing big in the big time. I can't wait for this process. I haven't got 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? What? And even if I do get in the Champions League next season, history has told me, when Arsenal Football Club is concerned, that we haven't bought big players to take that one step towards winning the league and winning the Champions League. Because, I was on Gracie's show with yourself, Jez, and one of the things I said, well, when Gracie was asking, will we get better players? And I said, well, they didn't come when we were in the Champions League regularly. So what's going to change? And what's got to change is that we have to, if we want to keep the Sakas, 2 things. Either we accelerate this process and start upgrading the squad. Because I'll tell you one thing now, if this side is good enough for the top 4, that's fine. But if you want to actually compete in the tournament, the Champions League, and compete in the league, then some players are going to have to go. I can think of about 3 or 4 players that the fans who have rated very highly, and I know for a fact that if we want to get to that next level, change from the league and get to the Champions League, these players are not going to be good enough. Now, what I'm saying is harsh, but if you really, really want to keep your Sakas and your better players who go away on international duty, you have to upgrade. You have to spend the money. And if the boss is not prepared to do it, then he needs to move on. And the owner's not prepared to do it, sell the club and move it to someone else. Because I'll tell you one thing, right? I know I'm going on a bit, but I'm just saying.
No, go on, mate.
53 to 70, we won fuck all. Sorry the language. I apologise for that. 71 to 89, we didn't win the league for 18 years. 2004 to 2022 in Canada, we haven't won the league. We could go the full 30 years without winning the league. But in between all those eras, we went 8 years without winning anything, 79 to 87. And we went 9 years without winning anything from 2004. So 2005, 2014. So what I'm trying to say is that Arsenal have to think big and start acting like a big club. Stop talking about processes. Stop trying to educate fans about, it's going to take time. Trust me, mate. We've been down this road before with Arsene Wenger, when our players like Fabregas, Van Persie and Nasri didn't have time. They wanted to win now. And that's the mentality. You know what I mean? And you've got to match the players' ambition. And if you don't, then we'll miss out again.
Yeah,
100%, mate. And the thing is, it's a short career for a footballer, right? And it is a short career, really short. It's 19 years since Abramovich took over Chelsea. I remember sitting with Tony Rolfe the day it happened. Yeah, nearly 20 years have gone just like that. Yeah, and Bukayo Saka is 20 years old, 21, whatever he is. Yeah, he'll blink and he'll be 30 years old, mate. Yeah,
that's stays here.
And the thing is, listen, I don't think he's going to leave this summer. Yeah, I genuinely don't. And I do think he loves the club, but he loves it in a different way to we love it. Yeah, I don't care what anyone tells me. A footballer does not love the club that they play for like we love it as fans. It's a different love. Yeah, they'll love the club. Of course they will, some of them. We've seen Tony Adams, David O'Leary, and all these players that we've had, Vieira and Henry and players like that. Yeah, they love the club, but they'll never love it like we love it. Yeah,
100%. We don't sleep.
I think
we don't sleep. We don't sleep if we lose. We get upset and it affects our lives. These players, they have to be. If they love the club like we did, then they wouldn't be professional footballers and they wouldn't achieve anything because they have to be cold-eyed. They have to think next game. They can never love the club like we do. Another thing as well, they've got to be careful in their careers. They can love the club and then all of a sudden the manager come in and said, well, you might love Arsenal, but I don't want you in my team. You've got to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. And the thing is as well, right, is, people get emotionally attached to these players way too much. I've said this a load of times. People are emotionally attached to Bukayo Saka. Right? Well, what happens when he leaves? Then what are you going to do? What, you going with him? Yeah, because it ain't Saka Football Club. It ain't Smith Rowe Football Club. It ain't any of these players' football club. It's our football club, and it says Arsenal above the door. Yeah, it says Arsenal Football Club. Not let's suck off one player, and get emotionally attached. Yeah, obviously you have favourites that you want and you like and you watch and you enjoy watching. We all have, but we don't sit here us three. Like, how many of these players would you cross the road to say hello to? Because it ain't like the old days. Yeah, there's not many, if any. Maybe Martinelli. Yeah, Martinelli and Tierney. Yeah, the rest.
Don't cross the road to them. They should concentrate on their football. You just get on with your lives and and hold them to account, because at the end of the day, you've got to remember that you still have to analyse their performances. You have to say, well, you played badly today, and I'm prepared to say it, or you played well. Praise, criticism. How can you criticise a player that you idolise? You can't do it. You can't be objective.
That's true, man. It's true. And listen, Chelsea are going to be sniffing around him and Smith Rowe. Man City will be the same. It's not just Saka. We're going to have this with Smith Rowe as well. And Smith Rowe, it's on Arsenal website. Smith Rowe, if I can find it, I've just come off of it now, is literally one goal away from equaling Nicolas Anelka's record of double digits for an under 21-year-old, I think it is, or 21 and under. Just trying to find it. 1 second. Where is it? Stats. There we go. Smith Rowe could become just the second player aged 21 or under to reach double figures in a Premier League season for us, along with Nicolas Anelka in 98-99. He's on 9 goals at the moment, which is pretty damn relentless. Yeah. He's 21. He's been brilliant whenever I've... Do you know, I say he's been brilliant whenever I've seen him this season. He wasn't actually brilliant for the first 6 games. And then after that, he was just relentless, wasn't he? Right, I think it was the Tottenham game. Maybe it was when was the Tottenham game? 4th, 5th, 6th game of the season. As soon as we had that Tottenham game, he flew there. Before that, I thought he was crap. But yeah, he's done really, really well this season. We're going to have that with him, and we're going to see. We're going to see what happens.
Martinelli's been looked at by Real Madrid, isn't he? Real Madrid are interested in Martinelli.
And that's the thing. If you're a South American footballer, most South American footballers want to play for Barca or Madrid. Yeah, that's just a fact. So it would not surprise me one bit if he ends up in Spain. Yeah, it would not surprise me. And the thing is, if any of them 3 leave, right, let's say Saka goes, let's say we get a bid for 70 mil and we take it, then what? Then Chelsea come sniffing for Smith Rowe, then what?
They don't have to leave. That if we rip up this nonsensical idea, a nonsensical notion about it, trust the process, it will take time. If we actually accepted, that we're a massive club, we accepted the fact that we need massive investment, and that we use the money that they've what I think is a con, trying to get fans to pay an extra 4% next season of their memberships. Use that money towards the players. Don't use it towards the stadium, to reserve the stadium. Because at the end of the day, you can. There's nothing to stop Kroenke from taking out a loan, a secured loan against that we can owe him to do the refurbishments, because he did it before last season. Yeah, he took a secured loan under his name, so he could do it for the in terms of like upgrading the stadium, and use the money that he's conning us out of, by the 4%, to start upgrading our squad, regardless of where we finish.
And the thing is, the reason we're skeptical of this youth project and process and all this crap, this is what football clubs are supposed to be doing anyway. Like, no, you're supposed to be getting rid of players that are not good enough and replacing them with better players. Yeah, and if they're not better to get you to a title, then you replace them again. You know, and I went on Northside's channel the other day against an Arteta fan. Yeah, same with me. Yeah, he's an Arteta fan.
Prince Fuad.
That's him. Nice enough guy, deluded as F on Arteta.
He's a good friend of mine. He's a Prince Fuad. Prince Fuad is unashamedly behind Arteta.
He said, and I asked this to every single Arteta fan, right? Does Arteta get us to win a league? Right? They always say, well, it's a process. I think we can get there. Okay, well, if Pep or Klopp leave now, would you sack Arteta for one of them? Everyone says, yeah. So you don't believe he can get to that level then, do you? So why is he here? Do you know what I'm saying? Does anyone genuinely believe he's going to get on Pep or Klopp's level? Well, because if you do, number one, you're deluded because he ain't. There's no evidence to suggest that. And number two, if he ain't good enough, then that's not the standard for the club because you're already accepting second best. You have to go and get the best manager you can get, not just some clown who's worked with one of the greatest managers of all time. You know, if we were going to go down that route, we should have just gave it to Steve Bold. I mean, he was sat next to Wenger for long enough, wasn't he? So I don't really know, man. I don't really know. Listen, big up to everyone watching. There's over 500 people in here. Big up to Barca Fan TV in the chat as well for the new logo and the new background, man. I don't know if it's come. I've just put it on, so I don't know whether it's actually on the channel. But thank you very much, buddy. Let me have a quick look. It's not updated yet. Maybe because I haven't saved it. I don't know. Published. There we go. But thank you very much for that, buddy. Appreciate it, man. And listen, I want to get your thoughts, Jez, on this whole Chelsea Roman Abramovich thing, because he's actively come out and said that he wants to sell the club now. And a lot of our fans, a lot of football fans, are laughing, saying that's them done, they're finished, they're this, they're that. What do you think, mate?
No, come on, let's get it right. Unfortunately, with the current situation with Ukraine and Russia, which is bloody tragic, let's get it right. You know, Russia, Putin being the bully, and another arrogant man that he is, trying to threaten the rest of the world with his inane, stupid comments. Chelsea aren't going to falter if he sells them. They have an amazing setup. Whoever comes in and buys Chelsea, you know, hypothetically, let's say it's 3 billion. I don't know. Right? Whoever does that, it'll still go down the same road because they have a fabulous internal structure. Now, Abramovich is doing it for a couple of reasons. He needs to protect his assets. He has lost currently on the markets £6 billion on his stock assets. So we can all read these things in different ways, and we don't really know the truth. But being in the position that he is, being very close to Putin, he is in a very, very difficult position. I dare say selling his baby, Chelsea, is probably heart-wrenching for him. Let's be fair, he rebuilt Chelsea, his investment. You know, we can go back in time, 19 years. Chelsea were fucking shite. You know, they were pony. You know, we used to beat them up nearly every time. And we've all beaten the games down at Stamford Bridge. And it was like, all right, well, what's the score going to be today then? 3-1, 3-0, 4-0?
If you look at Stamford Bridge now compared to when they had the cars parked around the outside of it, it's a totally different place, man. The hotel and all of that, little Chelsea village. It's mad.
The old shed. Do you remember the old shed?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dear God, how that was legal, I don't know. But, you know, it's the whole thing of, let's try and put it right, that Chelsea are probably one of the best set up clubs in Premier League football, if not in world football. Their transfer business is phenomenal. They have probably the greatest academy in British football, English football, and what business they do is brilliant. The fact that there's a change of ownership, all right, it might take 6-9 months to readjust, but they ain't going to get and fall apart. They're not going to get fucking relegated. They're not going to like fall apart at the seams. So, you know, if I was a Chelsea fan and you love Abramovich, of course you're going to be sad because, you know, the man's done a tremendous thing for your club.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. They'll move on. And they'll
Yeah,
still
100%. 100%. I just want to bring this comment up from I Am Jono. Chelsea ain't self-sustainable. 42,000 stadium. They make yearly losses. I don't know where you're getting these accounts from, my friend, but Chelsea have been self-sufficient for the last 6 seasons.
Oh, he's got a point. He's got a bit of a point. Because I can answer what Jono says, but I could firstly I want to second what
go on, mate.
Jess said. First of all, Chelsea should build a statue of Abramovich. Build a statue because simple reasons, and Chelsea fans should be allowed to celebrate the facts. And I'm not because the other day I'm not. I hate Chelsea Football Club because I'm jealous of their success. But how can you go to a Chelsea fan and say read the room when the room they've been in has basically seen every trophy imaginable with world football come through that trophy cabinet.
They beat us.
Yeah, had their Chelsea fans not be proud of the fact that they've won everything? Why should they be ashamed of having Abramovich? I mean, some football fans are reek of hypocrisy. I mean, these are the same people who wanted us to have Asmir Usmanov at the football club. Yeah. So, as Jez says, you know, Chelsea are in a fantastic position. They're in the black. They are in the black. They are a more valuable club than Arsenal because of the fact that, you know, in terms of like their merchandise outstrips us. They're in terms of like the TV rights outstrips us because simple reasons that, you know, and because of their success, you know, they make more because they're in the Champions League regularly and they've won it. Obviously, you know, and they haven't left the Champions League as much like we have. Yeah. They're enabled to continue to make the money that we are not able to make because we're not in the Champions League. The academy, as Jez says, is fantastic. They've got the best infrastructure behind the scenes with Graham Schreier. Don't get me wrong, you know, a lot of these people, Graham Schreier is a personal employee of Roman, so she will go with him. But the structure they've left in place is unbreakable. And all the new owner has to do is carry on what they're doing. However, as my guy says about the 42,000 stadium, he's got a slight point, and there is a point of conjecture is that Abramovich was committed 4 years ago towards building and expanding Stamford Bridge. You know, our good friend Tony Rolfe told us about it. You know, about that they were getting Chinese investment, that they were going to expand parts of the, you know, the land around the hotel. They're going to try and build a tube station as well, or station for fans to go through, and they were going to expand it to about 60,000. And everything was in place, and Abramovich secured everything. And then the British government decided that they wanted to, you know, like mess him around with his citizenship and start saying he's undesirable, and he got the up and wouldn't come to Chelsea, so he abandoned the project. But whoever takes that, you know, ownership of Chelsea on, they have to be committed to that project. That project is ongoing, and that's the situation. Are they going to be prepared to follow through, which is much needed, that expansion? Because at the end of the day, yes, they're in the black, but what's happening right now is that if, you know, all the people leave, if they don't replace the top level football people in, then what will happen is that there's going to be a situation where that good work that's been done by Abramovich and his advisors could go to pot. So that is one issue that Chelsea will have, is the expansion of the stadium, and getting those investors. But if they do expand that stadium, they do carry on, then they're going to be there for a long while yet. And even if the new owners try their hardest to mess it up, it'll take about 5 to 10 years for them to really ruin things anyway. And then Chelsea probably be like everyone else. But let's face it, as Jeff says, Abramovich did buy a team that qualified for the Champions League anyway. Remember Chelsea, everyone said Chelsea were poor before then. Well, they weren't. They were still attracting players like Hullet, Vialli, or Zola, who we agreed was probably the best player that's ever played with Chelsea. And then we're talking about all the foreign players. So it's not new that they were getting these, foreign European stars before Abramovich came to the club. Only that he got better foreign stars. So Chelsea have always been thereabouts. We just used to always thrash them because we had our foreign stars were better than theirs. That's what it was. But as I said before, watch this space with Chelsea. But Arsenal fans, don't get your hopes up, because Abramovich isn't calling in his debt. If he called in his debt, then we can think, yeah, that's it, they're gone. But he said he won't call in their debt, and that's
he said he won't call in the debt, and that shows you he loves the club. Yeah, and I don't think anyone there's a lot of football fans out there that just they bankrolled it, they've ruined the market, they've done this, they've done that. Get over yourselves, yeah.
Hang on, every football fan, right? If you went to every football fan, and I'm talking even fans of Norwich and fans of Queen's Park Rangers, and if you ask them, who do you want? Would you want someone in West London or North or an East Anglian self-made multi-millionaire? Or would you want a billionaire from the Far East and Russia? I'll tell you who they'll choose.
Oh, 100%, mate. And this is the thing. It's all well and good until it happens to your football club. The amount of Geordies that are buzzing now, they've got Saudi owners, but they were all crying about Abramovich and the Sheikh at Mansour at Man City. But now it's happening to their club. And it's the same with Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans, you guys remember when we got the funding for this stadium? Yeah, we're moving there to be self-sustainable. That was what Peter Illwood said. Yeah, he said it. Yeah, and then after that, that idiot Gazidis said the same. We've moved to be self-sufficient, and we're trying to compete with the best in the world. So all these fans that sit now on social media crying that the Cronkies don't put money in, well, guess what? That's what every Arsenal fan wanted when we moved stadium, mate. Yeah, they didn't want a sugar daddy like Abramovich. They didn't want a Sheikh Mansour. But then what's happened is they've realised the only way we're going to compete with these teams is have a sugar daddy with loads of money being thrown at it.
And let's look at this current situation. Usmanov, remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Assets freezed. And where's he at? Everton. Right? So, I mean, that guy's comment was a bit of bullshit, let's be honest, because no football club is self-sufficient on ticket sales.
No, that's true. It's true.
Probably about 45 to 40% of what they make. What football clubs rely on is, we all know it, we see Arsenal drop it every bloody week. Merch, food, beer, coffee, tea, blah, 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 and all the other crap that goes around it. The fact that Chelsea have got a 42,000 capacity means nothing because they have a total business philosophy that they can maintain it. Now, they do it in such a manner that they are self-sustainable. And Arsenal do it because, we do it in a different way, because we drop a new pair of pajamas every week. And,
dressing gowns.
Yeah, dressing gowns. Yeah.
And he gets sponsored with his dressing robes, and I've got my new slippers. So we're all doing well, but I'm joking. But that is the way football is now. So the fact that Abramovich is protecting his own assets, and he is, because at the moment he's looking to have his Learjet possessed, his two massive 500 million
Well,
pounds.
one of his yachts is worth more than Arsenal Football Club.
Yes. Yeah.
That is worth 2.2 billion or something, one of his yachts. And that's one of 5 or 4 that he's got. It's like,
and all his houses in the southeast of England. Right? So, which he's looking to sell, by the way. So I might pop.
There you go, Jez. You're not far from there, mate. So you know, get the bank balance sorted out. Speak to the manager.
Yeah, the bank manager. I might put an offering for $500,000. You know? might get it on the cheap. But anyway, seriously, you know, I'll tell you, Chelsea, mate, they've got nothing to worry about.
The only this is a good comment as well. Is that if they end up with an owner like ours, or like maybe Liverpool's, the only reason Liverpool have actually got away with their ownership not being really questioned is the fact that Klopp's that good. Yeah, because they don't really spend anything. Yeah, literally anything. I think the only time that owner's put in is for the stand, the new stand they had. I don't think he's ever invested a penny other than to buy the club, obviously. Yeah, and it's the same with us. The Glazers, if Chelsea get somebody like the Glazers, they've took £2 billion out of that football club. You know, and Chelsea are a massive global football club now. So if they end up with owners like ours, or like United's or Liverpool's maybe, then that will be a steady decline, unless they get somebody that's as ruthless as Abramovich. I do see him having a little drop. I don't think they're going to be as relentless.
Depends on the boss, though. It depends on the boss, isn't it?
Because Marina's leaving as well.
Well, she's his personal advisor, personal employee, so she has to go with him. But you know, I think you look at Liverpool's situation with Klopp. Klopp's good. Klopp's, you know, proved to be successful, and they know that if they don't give Klopp improve the squad, he's gone. Because you know, if you look at it, what they do in Liverpool, it's very clever. He needed new defenders because he got new defenders. He needed an upgrade on and for life after Salah and Mane and Firmino. Yeah. He's got all those players, so they're giving Jurgen Klopp their money, because you and I know that the real Fenway Group is just like our boys, Cowboys, you know, the Cronkies, who basically just want to sort of concentrate on the merchandise and just have it part of their portfolio. But because they got Klopp, and because they love winning, and they got used to winning the league and winning the Champions League, so, you know what, we could have both, you know, like part of our portfolio and winning trophies, big trophies.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Before we wrap this up, I just want to talk about this Super League, because it looks like it's coming back. It looks like it's coming back.
Told you so.
No, listen, I think we all knew it was going to come back. It's mad because they've dropped it again at a bad time globally. Yeah, and I think it's a bit of a weird time to be dropping it. They dropped it before in the height of COVID. I think it's like they're almost trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do it when everything's down here, low. Yeah, everything's like morale's low. You know, everything's up in the air. You don't really know what's going to happen in the future with Chelsea and other things as well. We don't really know what's going to happen as human beings, do we? Let's be real. No. You know, anything could happen the way the world is, and I think they're trying to take advantage of that. But I think we all knew it was going to happen. I think the reason, I've said this before, I think the reason that a lot of these owners have invested into these clubs is because of this exact reason. Yeah, because they know it's going to be worth an absolute fuck ton of money if it happens. So I said, I don't really care whether it happens or not. I just want to see Arsenal win. Yeah, and I want to see us win, whether that's the Super League, the Premier League, the Champions League, Europa League, whatever it might be. But what do you make of it, Jez? And do you think we'll be part of it? Because I see the other day that we might not be in it.
I think it's pretty wrong to be discussing this in the current European climate of what's happening. And I think that is poor. No, I don't want Arsenal to be part of it, because why? What we're going to achieve with this current manager, current squad, to be playing the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, we go on, PSG, Bayern Munich, Juventus, blah, blah, blah. You know, what is the point? Especially when they say there's no guaranteed place. So let's hypothetically say it happens. It all happens. And Arsenal go in it. and we end up second from bottom.
Yeah.
Does that mean we can't get back into the Premier League, or does that mean we have to go into National League 2 and fight our way back up? It's just.
I think it's running in unison with the Premier League, right? So to get in, you have to. It's not going to be a closed shop like it was last time, where everyone went mad. So let's say we got relegated, right, from the Super League. We've then got to qualify to get back into it via our Premier League position. But then what does that mean for Champions League? Is that still going to be a thing? Because I see something the other day, because they're going to change the format of the Champions League. You're not going to go into groups as a 2024. Yeah. So it's going to be everyone, all the 36 teams, not 32, are going to go in one league. And you qualify out of the league position into the knockout stages. So listen, they fuck around with football way too much, man. Right? It's called the Champions League, but you can finish third loser and still get in it.
League, why though? Why?
Money.
No, it's even money, but it's much worse. UEFA can't afford to have, Man United not in the Champions League on a regular basis, and I can't afford to have the Milanese clubs not in it regularly as well. So what's happening right now? They have to expand it because, if they're trying to sell the rights to the Champions League to, the countries in Asia and the United States, they want to see like the big teams in it. And that's what it's all about. In terms of like the Super League, financially, Real Madrid and Barcelona have to be part of the Super League. And so do the Italian clubs. Bayern Munich don't want to be in it because they want to miss out because they think all the big teams are going to be playing in it. But Real Madrid and Barcelona cannot rely on loans from Spanish banks for the rest of their existence. They're going to have to try and make real money. And the real money for them is this league. It's let's not Juventus in Italian football, because you got to remember we're spoiled in the Premiership. Come on, when you see Sunderland in 2016 having a bigger turnover than Bayern Munich, you know why these teams like our European cousins want to be part of this European Super League.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. But listen, big up to everyone in the chat as well, man. Make sure you are smacking the likes up. No, it's true, man. It's true.
You laugh when I say Sunderland, but it's true. It happens.
Mate, this is the thing. People are conned into thinking that you need a big stadium to compete. Sunderland Stadium is bigger than Liverpool's. Do you know what I'm saying? It's bigger than Juve's. These teams are competing, and this has all come from the Emirates move. Oh, you need to have a bigger stadium so you can compete. Well, what have we done since? And this Super League thing, it's going to be very interesting because there's going to be a lot of very hypocritical people, that like Gary Neville. Yeah, imagine Gary Neville, right, sitting there killing the last one off and being so over the top. Oh, it's going to ruin football. It's going to ruin the pyramid, or the pyramid that you're ruining anyway. Yeah, by bankrolling your team through the leagues. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the bloke's a scumbag, right? And then now imagine the Super League happens, yeah, and Sky Sports get the rights. Is Gary Neville quitting?
Of course, he's not.
No, he'll be sitting there on match day 1 of the Super League, yeah, and then he'll get bombarded with tweets and hate and this and that. Who cares? He'll probably get a pay rise.
And
these people need to be very careful what they're saying, right? At the end of the day, some people like it, some people don't. Me personally, I couldn't give a shit whether it happens or not. Yeah, I just want to see us win.
People will still watch it. Any football, they'll watch it for the simple reason is that people do not want to miss out. Football fans want to watch football, and they'll get used to it. All tournaments. Remember, let's not forget, 60 years ago, a lot of English teams didn't want to compete in the European Cup, UEFA Cup, and also, they thought they didn't like the format of it, and I don't think it'll work. Now they can't wait to get into Europe, so you've got to start somewhere.
Same with the Premier League 30 odd years ago. It's exactly the same. Yeah, and it's mad. Like, the thing is, it is all about money these days. If people think football clubs care about us, they couldn't give two shits about us. They care about our wallet.
We're replaceable. Like as I said, you and Jez know, the only people I care about is the match day fan. Now, that's no disrespect to anyone who don't go to games. The reason why I look after the match day fans because no one looks after them. You know, we have AST people at Arsenal who claim to look after the matchday fan, but they're more interested in doing a video chat with Grant Xhaka about online abuse. Well, hang on here. There's fans who are facing a 4% pay rise, ticket price rise, who have been furloughed from their jobs. Who's speaking for them? What about the fan who's been made redundant from his job? Who's speaking for them? Or what about the fan who basically has to have reduced hours? No one's speaking about them, but they're still being asked to pay a 4% increase in the ticket prices. And you've got people on other shows trying to educate us about football finance. We're not pork chops. We know about football finance. We actually know why the club's doing it. But we also want to realise that us match-going fans are stakeholders as well.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, mate. Listen, people, big up to everyone watching. There's 625 in here. Make sure you are smashing these likes up. We are going to wrap this up in a sec because I am starving and I have got salmon and prawns ready to cook. Lovely jubbly.
You cook?
Yeah, I can cook, mate. I'm actually a very good cook. So I'm going to fry it all up with a load of veg, and soy sauce, and just put it all in the wok. Off I go, mate. Yeah, and then I'll be making maybe mashed potato with it.
Rice.
Stir
fry. Very nice.
Yeah, rice could be the one. I had mashed potato the other day, so yeah, maybe rice. But yeah, I'm going to do a bit of cooking, and it's 10:20, so I'm going to crack on. But yeah, listen, big up to both of you guys as always. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and obviously I'll see you both after the game.
100%.
And big up everybody in the chat, including the idiots.
Well, you got some pork chops. You got some pork chops. I must say, Lee, you know, you've done a lot of crossover shows, and you know, I just want to shake Dan Potts' hand and Lee Judge's hand for having you on. And you know, like I said, you know, because I watched the show and I actually enjoyed it, and I've got a lot of love for Dan Potts and Lee Lee Judges, and I've got even more respect for them now because I know a lot of people are trying to bully them into not having certain guests on the show. It's their show; they can do what they want.
Exactly. This is what I say to people when people say to me, "Oh, why are you getting this person on?" or why is he on this channel? How about every other Wednesday I go on Lee Judge's channel with Dan, right? Every other Wednesday at 5:30 in the evening. If you don't like me, don't fucking watch it. It's simple. So I mean, it's that simple. One show every other week. You just don't have to watch it. Same when I go on Terry's channel. Get all these little clowns in the chat on Terry's channel going, "Oh, this guy's so negative. I don't believe he's an Arsenal fan." First and foremost, I couldn't give two fucks if you think I'm an Arsenal fan. I am 40 years old in the summer. Yeah, who the fuck are you? Who are you? If you don't like it, set your own channel up and start sucking off the process. It's simple, isn't it? Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate.
I've got to tell you this. I've got to tell you this. This is funny, right? The other last week, over the weekend, I had this guy chatting to me on Insta. He followed me and he got chatting. He said, why do you not like Arteta? Blah 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 blah. Loads of chat. Yeah. So I said to him, I said, well, I don't rate him. I said, I never rated him as a player. Blah 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 blah. And I said, so you see Arsenal? He said, yeah, I've been to Arsenal. I said, oh, fair play. And I said, what attracted you to Arsenal? And he says, oh, my uncle supported them. He lived in Islington. I said, oh, fair play. I said, where do you live? He said, Australia. Yeah. I said, oh, right. How many times you been then? He said, twice. I said, oh, how old are you? He said, I'm 12. At
that point, I would have blocked him.
I have.
You've got time, mate, honestly.
I said, mate, how are you trying to talk to me about fucking Arsenal? Honestly, dear God, man. I said, the amount of games
the
internet's free.
That's the internet. Most of these people that come and chat absolute bollocks on our fan cams, are probably the exact same age. They're 12 to 15 or something, and they're trying to tell you how to.
Lee and Jez, it's a Mark Twain syndrome. You know what I mean? A lot of people who if the positive Arsenal fans, and I say that with a hint of satire, get their message out first, then it's the Mike Train syndrome, isn't it? The person who gets their story out first is the first person who gets believed.
Yep,
even
100%.
before the truth puts its trousers on.
There you go. There you go. Big up to Mr. Pads. He said, "Is Kenny going on Lady Chan's channel tomorrow?"
I'm going on Lady Chan's channel next week. I'll do it every week with Lady Chan. So don't forget to tune in. It's going to be lit.
There you go. Big up to both of you guys. Big up to everyone in the chat, man. Make sure you smash the likes up before you leave. I'll be back tomorrow, an hour before kickoff, with the build up and the watch along. And Ola will be joining me. We'll sync up. We'll be banging time with each other, and we'll see Arsenal hopefully slap Watford up. But we shall see. We never know what Arsenal are going to turn up, so we'll see. And
I'll go first. Arteta out.
There you go. Arteta out. We'll end on that. Arteta out.
You prick.